Okay, so Zinah, let's turn it over to you to get started.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you again, Les, for having us. A lot of our, I want to say, guidance and stuff we got from you, so I appreciate that. But our reentry program is creates a bridge from incarceration to communities, from systems to relationships, and from crisis to stability. I mean, we talked about today in the breakout room about the stigma. So, I mean, these people have the drive. We have the want to get back in the community, and it's just really tough. There's a lot of barriers. So let me see something here. How do I get to? I'm also technically challenged here.
Yeah, this is fun. This is fun for us because the two of us
Yeah,
doing
push
this is
enter.
a big accomplishment for her and I to be able to do this today. So thank you for bearing with us.
Yes, let me see. Oh, I had my side notes for this, but I'm gonna say 1 second while I pull up my note again. Um, Not gonna find it when I need it.
Okay, I got you. Going to the
No.
next slide.
Yes, please.
I want to let me.
Here.
Okay, so peer support works because it's relationship based. When support is provided by someone with lived experience, trust is built faster, engagement is stronger, and follow through improves. Peer mentors are able to bridge gaps between systems and people in ways traditional referrals alone cannot. Our model is trauma-informed, strength-based, and focused on long-term stability rather than short-term compliance. The peer-led reentry model increases engagement and trust and can reduce recidivism. People with lived experience are able to connect the gaps that are normally not identified. Our recent contract that started with the DCR, we actually started going into women's in May of this year, and the referrals come from DCR, and we are given the referrals to each of the facilities on each of the islands. The referrals are made by the case management folks there or intake center at DCR, and the participants sign a consent form. They sign one for DCR, one for Project Vision before we go in, and so they're willing participants to enroll for the program. Zinah?
The direct in-facility services, the pre-release, that is really important. It's where we get to go in and meet with the person that has been identified that is going to be coming out soon. And we get to see what their needs are, what exact challenges and barriers that they have. And we want it to be participant driven because sometimes a lot of the goals that is set for the person is not necessarily the goals that they're trying to strive to. So they're definitely going to be putting in effort to what they want. So we have seen that. Um, Going in, we have different hours that is set. Max out person that has been identified, you get 10 hours with them. Parole probation, you have 7 hours, and then furlough, we have 5. Um, let's see.
And then after that number of hours, if there is a reason that we need to have additional hours once they're coming out, then we work with the case managers on the inside to get that approval prior to them being released. Another form is then filled out, and then we can continue working with them when they come out. So the in-facility process really is we're going to go get the referral and the enrollment paperwork taken care of. We build up this structure of the number of hours dictated by the type of status that the incarcerated person has. And then we start with the engagement and intake, and I do a BARC 10 recovery assessment for everyone. We'll start doing care. We begin with care plans for each person. We talk about housing, if they have housing where they've applied to that they've been accepted for, or we work with them to try to get them into housing. Um, we talked about the 1115 waiver in our group today too, which was pretty important, and talking about the healthcare and the turning the medical back on or applying for those that don't have medical. So we do have that ability to do that as well. We talk about the behavioral needs and their SUD needs, and then what their hopes are for employment and any educational opportunities they might be looking forward to. One of the clients that I worked with recently had not gotten her GED, and when she finally thought to do so, she was too far along towards getting out on her max out that she couldn't do the program there. So we found information and found out where she could do it once she got out. So reentry readiness is initiated prior to a warm handoff at release, and we really want to show that, you know, we've got some structure to the process inside the facility to help them with complying with certain regulations that they've already been assigned, and then to look at the efficiencies of what we can bring to them through the doing the assessment and then providing a care plan for each person. Z?
When they go ahead and they get out, um, the participants transition into the community. When they have a plan, there's less likely a chance of relapse, going back committing crime. Um, just having some care coordination, regular check-ins. When you build a relationship with them on the inside, they're more likely to call you if they have questions or if they're having a hard day, kind of thing. We have peer mentorship, which is we offer all of the people that are with like the buddy system, they are certified peer specialists. They're all volunteer trained. So, we help them with housing. Oh, you just read that. Behavioral health, SED treatments, employment, and so on. The goal is to just reduce them committing a crime. And a lot of times when they get frustrated or they just don't know what to do with, they feel like they're not making progress. That's when they're most likely to commit a crime or relapse.
Yeah. And in the perfect world, we don't want to have a gap at the gate. That's what we're calling it. So at release, the same peer mentor who worked with the person on the inside will be there upon their release. It's not going to necessarily be the same person that works with them after on the outside, but there'll be at least a warm handoff. And if it is the same person that's working with them, they're going to see them when they come out and they're released, so that at least there's that face-to-face contact and they're not alone when they're walking out that door. We also have just started a program, the Welcome Backpack. And we've got our first donation for that, a few $1,000s, not the kind that congratulations to the J League over there on the Big Island. We hope to build and get grants like you folks have just been awarded. But we're starting small. And so there are things that our grant with DCR does not allow. It's only the time that we get paid for inside and outside. We don't have any funding that would pay for any personal materials for folks when they come out. So we're going to be using these backpacks as items that we can give to folks when they're released. We provide them with that warm handoff, and there'll be items included in their backpacks, such as shampoo and conditioner and, personal hygiene kits. And we want to include information that will be necessary for them to reestablish themselves in the community, and the contact lists and pads of paper and pens, and maybe even the cell phones that we're able to get the free connection. The phone still costs $25, so we could get a voucher for that. Various ideas, and we'd love to have people support those items for the backpacks and for other things that you think could help folks reentering. In addition to the women coming out, we have also secured the contracts for the neighbor island of Maui and Kauai for men. So we'll need to be ramping that up to prepare to provide for men as well as women. Um, and referrals, definitely we want to have many more referrals that will be activated. And so participants will have a little bit of something when they come out. A couple of our clients have had nothing upon release. And so, to give them a little head start, a change of clothes, a new pair of underwear, that kind of stuff is really important when you've been um, locked away and feel as though you've been forgotten for quite some time. So those first few days and those weeks are critical.
Absolutely.
Um, so this is just a slide here showing the pipeline. You want to cover that, Zena?
So the flow chart is kind of like you have for a mentor, and we want to make sure that their lived experience. That is super key to this. You can learn everything that there is to learn about it, but the lived experience is, like Les has stressed numerous times, not just being at the table, but having a voice at the table. So our mentor recruitment, get people with lived experience, kind of see what their heart is behind it, why they want to do it. There's an application for it. We do a screening. Like we said, make sure that their lived experience. And we want to support them, not be a savior to them. We want to make sure that whoever is the peer support for that person knows those boundaries. It's very needs to be defined early on in the game. We have a training model, a small slideshow for the mentors, and we offer them ongoing support because not only do the mentees need support, but the mentors also need support. We want to have regular check-ins and the mentor kuleana, kind of what is their responsibilities. It is not to fix all the person's problems, it's to give them the tools and the resources needed so that they can go out and put the effort and support them along the way, kind of be their cheerleader on the side.
And so part of the ongoing post-release participation would be we offer some courses that we can have the women come to on a regular basis. We'd like to try to get a monthly support group going. We even have our nursing staff that can provide some care before they get appointments set because we all know that trying to get into a doctor is not something that's going to happen in 2 weeks. Making in those appointments takes some time. So if they have any medical needs right away, we can have our medical staff attend to them while we get them set up for their next appointments. And then we just want to make sure that they're not walking alone when they come back into reentry because they've just come out of a very unstable and traumatic space. So we want the depth to permeate into various areas of their life. And measuring what matters, of course, we have to have the analytical data to support the grant work. So there's going to be a number of things that have to be captured in terms of evaluations so that we can provide that feedback to the Department of Corrections and Rehab. And so we'll be, gathering key data points, looking at stability, looking at completion rates of things, getting their feedback as well as providing our feedback in an annual evaluation form to the state. See?
So the impact of this program, the heart of the program, why peer reentry works. We all know that somebody with lived experience, assisting somebody with lived experience just goes much further. The resources, somebody that has just been through prison or jail, if they come out, and a lot of times the resources that is provided to them by different avenues is not exactly as easy as it seems. So a lot of times the peer support will be able to offer, like, this is a good housing place that most people don't know. This is a safe place that you can go. This is a community that you should be engaged in. And a lot of times for work also, Having somebody advocate for you or let you know where best employment is comes from peer support from
I'm just putting up a list of some of the partners too that we network with. Um, Dr. Melissa, oops, I just hit the wrong button. Dr. Melissa Dittberner, she is one of the psychiatrists that we work with to have developed a dashboard to kind of gather all of the data that's been compiling over the folks that we've been working with. Um, Also, the CSACs and Going Home Hawaii has been tremendous help to us getting things started. And Les's knowledge just is, as we all know, anyone that works with Les, he's very willing to give of his knowledge and his experience to share about many of the different aspects of this because when we started doing reentry, it was something that was just overwhelming. I mean, having been in the system and then coming from the other side of it, looking at various ways to try to help and to advocate for changes that we know as people who have been in the system, we know the changes that need to take place. Because of the trauma and what we've experienced in there. Um, we've been just so happy, Les, to have had your knowledge and your wisdom. It's even carried forth to the Oahu Justice League that's run by Heather Lusk at HCR3 and her asking about having a J League possibly forming over here on Oahu because of the exemplary work that you folks are doing on the Big Island. And so happy to announce that both Zina and Kimi Takata will be heading up that J League on Oahu, and we'll be, hoping to partner even more with you guys to learn from Mimi and the others on your committee, just to try to formulate and emulate some of the great work that you're doing. Of course, we have Tia Hartsock as well in the wellness and resilience. Um, Different government offices, the programs with universities, behavioral health folks are so important. Um, the number of mentees continue to build. We hope that the women will, want to stay on and pay it forward. That's one of the big hopes to build up the number of mentor mentees. Um, we'll want to have people in the program for at least a year and then start training them up as they themselves get acclimated back to community. They want to give back to the community, and that will take that will take time to get, for some longer than 2 years, but we're hoping that this can create then a pool of people that will become mentors and want to help their fellow um, male and female counterparts.
absolutely. So like with partnerships, when you have that support, you're able to reduce recidivism. I know that's everybody's goal. Increase stability coming out into reentry. When you increase stability, I believe that just goes out and naturally changes the stigma. When you see people coming out and then they're successful, that's the best way. Instead of telling them, you can show the public that, hey, they can be successful also. You want to strengthen your capital, your recovery capital, and be able to provide continuity from custody to the community. Just making sure that there's no gaps, making sure that there are bridges all the way along and that they're identified.
And we've all heard that statistic that roughly 95% of those entering our jails and prisons will return to our communities. So they're our moms, our dads, our sisters, our brothers, our aunties and uncles. And we want you folks to help us to welcome them back home. Um, this is just a couple of slides here about the information, how to join up and help us. And there's Jacob and Nat and Zena, myself. And that's our visionary right there, Darrah. So we want to thank you for listening to our little talk today about our reentry and some of our hopes and dreams. And we just want to really mahalo you, Les, for being such a leader and a visionary to Darrah and really inspiring us to come forward with this program as well over on Oahu.
Yes, Les. Thank you so much for your wisdom. I get a lot of, I say, pick your brain and guidance from you, but you definitely are inspiring, and I appreciate that. Your heart is definitely behind that.
Mahalo.
Almost.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you for your kind words and support. So we look forward to continuing our great partnership with you and everyone else here. Any questions about the Project Vision and their new contract with DCR and their reentry team?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment. I want to thank Toni and Zinah and Jacob. Is it Jacob and Nat for sharing today? And congratulations on receiving the peer mentorship for males contract. This was the first that I heard, so congratulations on that. And I just want to say I appreciate the reentry readiness because being in and we didn't have that services in my day. So today I'm so pleased to hear that it's in place because when you're in and it can change the whole pathway for you, knowing that someone's there for you, somebody cares, somebody's giving you hope, someone understands you, they relate to you. So mahalo for that. And congratulations on developing a J League on Oahu. I would love to collaborate with Zinah and Kimmy. I mean, who wouldn't want to work with Zinah and Kimmy? So
Right.
it will be an honor, and I look forward to that. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I
Do
also
anyone?
wanted
Yeah.
to extend my congratulations and please feel free to reach out to J League anytime. We're totally here to support you and with any questions or support that you need. Thank you for a great presentation today.
Yeah,
Thank you. Anyone
mahalo.
else? Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
perfect. Mahalo,
I
mahalo.
wanted to take the time to let all of her peers and everybody know that last week we had an emergency at HCCC, and Zinah was the only one in all of Hilo to come through and help this homeless lady who was in a bad predicament. She went all the way to HPP, got her to this was a Friday afternoon. So she was able to take the time to place this woman into a bed at Salvation Army. And if it wasn't for that, with this horrible weather Hilo has had, something would have happened to her and she definitely would have gone back to using. So thank you, Zinah. And thank you to your, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lisa.
Awesome. Anyone else?
Hannah had something to say.
I know, just real quick,
Yeah,
but
go
first
ahead.
of all, yeah, that story comes first. Mahalo, that's what I'm talking about. And honestly, even just what you guys presented on too, I'm like, this is brilliant. And so this is a pilot project, right? This is like the pilot phase, and then hopefully can expand from there. Because me and some of the lovely peeps that I've been working with that have been discussing along these same lines, right? Both folks that are still incarcerated have just transitioned out, and then those of us who are just kako. We met with Les recently too, talking about this, and it's literally what you guys are wanting to do, except for a lot of the Kane that we're working with here on Hawaii Island. So all of the love and support to you guys, and as soon as we're ready to myceliate, the support is there and the avenues are there. And just thank you. That was awesome. Mahalo, mahalo.
John, Hannah, thank you.
We're going to be the mahi eyes of humans. We're going to help them grow.
That's what it takes. Full scale restoration, right? Internal, external, above, below, all of the above.
Right? Every part is important.
Ew.
Okay, thank you. So we're gonna adjourn this meeting. Thank you everyone for attending. And if you'd like to stay for a little while, children, we'll keep the room open. And see you all next week. And again, June 24th, we're going to put more announcements out, 9 a.m. We're going to have it on our socials and put those things out. So we're going to be going downtown and doing engagement to try to get people off the streets and out of the cycle of homelessness and jails and the rest. Okay, thank you very much again. Good seeing everybody. Mahalo.
Hello.
Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Have a blessed week, everyone.